What are you doing there today, Rich?
Shepherd's pie!
So Rich, what are you using to cook today?
Well, today we're using these camping gas stoves, high gear. Link to where you can buy them right here. They come in this case. I haven't actually played with the case because they're all set up when I got here. But yeah, we like them. They've got an auto click, what do you call it? An auto ignition click switch. Boom. So you don't even need matches. Little gas bottle, quite easy to fit as long as you make sure that this gap is upright, because if we were trying to do it with a gap, not realising you had to have this bit sitting in the gap. So for 20 quid, in a nice case, we don't think that's too unreasonable. Alright, shepherd's pie, simple, dead easy dish. We've got chopped onions, there's a link right here for how to chop an onion if you don't know. And so we're going to use those. We've got potatoes, which I am actually going to start with because they take the longest. Now I've got a mishmash of potatoes, some look a bit old, but generally if they've got a few eyes on them it doesn't really matter. Like that one. You know, a few bad bits, just chop them out. What have you been doing, potato? No. You can peel them, but I'm lazy. I know, I don't want to. But plus also it's much healthier for you. All the nutrients are just by the skin. Oh, we've got a sticker on it, freebie. So, as long as the spud's not desperately squishy, it's fine. So we've got an eye there. Back it in now, just take it off. Potato! Done. So it's dead simple. These are all for boiling. We're going to use some in the mince and some in the mash. I just turn it on, mate. No way is that hurting my face. So yeah, you're just roughly chopping it. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you're aiming for about 1 centimetre squared. Won't make too much difference. Now, I don't really normally add much salt into anything, but you could pop a bit of salt in that if you wanted. I don't feel it needs it every single time. Again, we used sun-dried tomatoes earlier, so we've got a little bit of oil left over. It's not an unpleasant flavour, but it's not a strong flavour either, so it's not going to do anything. You'll need a little bit, because lamb is generally fatty. I mean, I don't know what we've got, but in terms of how fatty it is. And then, every time. Or choose our life hack onion. So use this fork. Recently, I saw a 50-year-old man put mince into a pan with this on, the meat nappy. So make sure, it's just a bit of paper to stop it. I don't know what it does. So make sure you take that off before you whack it in. Right, you just break up the mince, and you're just browning the mince off. Ingredients. First, a bit of steak seasoning. Ooh, steak seasoning. So I reckon a nice healthy bit of that. This is actually on a high heat. If you were cooking from frozen mince, so you just had some mince in the freezer, I'd recommend a medium heat and just cook it for longer. English mustard. Ooh. We're whacking a couple of teaspoons. Mix this all up, get it all in. That's basically your mince done. The only thing we've got left to do is add a few, when it's cooked obviously, add a few of the boiled potato cubes. Don't know. No, well we've seen a life hack where allegedly if it's to stop this bubbling over, a wooden spoon across the middle will break it up to stop it bubbling over. So it didn't work on the last one we tried, mainly because the thing didn't boil enough, the water. This mince doesn't look too fatty actually, I'd have to say. But if you've got fatty mince, you can always drain it. Just, you know, tip it over a sink, bit of a spoon to stop it going everywhere and pour the fat out. Yeah, you want to make sure there's still a couple of little red bits in there, but that's generally oil, mostly all brown, but you want to make sure it's completely brown. In fact, I will drain this mince, I think. Oh, looks like we're going to have a great big lift off. Is it going to work? I hope so, because it's going to be very messy if it doesn't. I turned it down.
Handle.
Yeah, that didn't work. Another life hack disproved. It's just disappointing. That's all I'm going to put. Disappointing. And now Sean's going to have to clean that up. They still look very uniform. They look pale on the outside, it's very straight edged and stuff. The lines are quite straight still quite, the cut lines are quite straight, and so you can sort of, if you touch it, which is not the best idea with boiling water, but you can feel it's still very solid. In fact, that one's a bit softer and it's a bit different colour. So you can feel with the spoon how well done they are. So if you're spinning it around and they feel absolutely mushy, you've overcooked it, literally. And if you can just, I can still feel the resistance in there. I can still feel the cube shapes, which I'm sure I'm going to get taken the mick out of a lot because people say that's the same shape as my head. That mince is done, so just turn that off and go straight in the tray. Oh, that was an unpleasant sound. Straight in the tray, and we can just leave that now until the spuds are ready. Because we're going to heat it through anyway to finish off. So that'll spread out nicely like that. Top tip for you, even if you're not going to wash it up straight away, always put some water in the pan, because then anything that's baked on it or cooked on it is already starting to dissolve. So say you come back and wash it 20 minutes later, it will be easier to wash. So it's just soaking it straight away. When buying your masher, you want one like this that's got two sides, because you get some that are like an L shape and they're rubbish because they spring so, this one, look at that, that's solid. All your pushing power is going straight on the potato. If you've got an L-shaped one, they bend a lot, especially if they're the thin metal. So if you're going to buy one, spend the extra £1 or 50p or whatever it is and get, this is quite a flash one, but you could probably get a reasonable one. As long as it's got two solid edges for pushing, it's not going to weaken on you. So when buying a masher, top tip. Also, if you buy a plastic style one, when using it on a non-stick pan like this, it's not going to scratch the sides. So the metal one might, so you never use metal on non-stick. Right, so these spuds are done. You can tell, you see how the edges are a bit more ruffled, and when you touch them, look at that breaking apart on the fork. So that's done. That's how you know. So we can turn this bad boy off. Strain these like so. A little bit of a shake just to make sure the juice is off. Oh, we lost one in the sink. I've lost another one. No Christmas next year either. So with the spoon, just take a spoonful out into the mince, maybe a couple of spoons. We just mix that all in. Just adds a nice texture and a flavour, the spuds and the mince and the onion. Put your splash of milk, a knob of butter. I'm going to ruin Sean needs a nice butter with a fork. And I hasten to add, that's, when I say knob, I mean like, as in the shape, not as in, that's not the size of my knob of butter. And just mash away. You want to all mix in. Make sure you get it all in. Go over it a few times because you want to get rid of the lumps. But yeah, that's got a nice consistency to it. So then what we do, I really hope we've got enough mash for this. The aim is to cover the mince. Oh, mince. I love that in a partridge. Now, masher is something you absolutely want to put in hot water straight away, simply because they are a pain to clean when the mash dries on them. So make sure that is a top tip. And then with the fork, just splash it out evenly. I really must learn Italian. It sounds like the coolest language. So what I do, just go straight over, across the middle like that. See all these lovely ridges? They will crisp up lovely in the, they'll become lovely and crisp in the oven, and it just adds to the, oh, it's just part of the crispy bits are the best bit. So the oven's preheated to 180 because of the spuds. Now generally 20 minutes or so, and that'll be cooked. but as long as the top bits are crispy and not burnt, we cooked was ready. Because everything is cooked, you're just heating it through together. Hiccups. Everything is cooked, you're just heating it through together, so the spuds absorb some of the lovely flavour in the mince and it just goes together nice. Perfect with, I personally, frozen peas, beans, that's all I need with it, and it's one of my all-time favourites. Time to check. Oh, shepherd's pie is done. That's done. Spuds won't be far off. I'll shut the door and do the spuds separately. Really, oh, they're delicious, especially with a bit of baked beans. Presentation isn't really my strong suit.